What's up, YouTubers? I know you know by the way I'm smiling. This is take like 562. All right. So what we're going to talk about is where we got some of our ideas, okay, of living off the grid. Of course, YouTube is a great resource. There's a lot of people looking to or already living off the grid and sharing their experiences and their ideas with you on a daily basis or weekly basis. Great information, and that's hands-on stuff. You know, it's awesome. You can get the benefit of people that are actually putting this stuff to use and then telling you what's working and what's not working. So YouTube's always a great resource. Awesome stuff. Also, books. You know, you got a lot of books out there that talk about it. But another resource that we used was a lot of the old cowboy movies. I spent a lot of time watching Rawhide and watching Little House on the Prairie and watching Bonanza and Ponderosa. Any kind of old kind of cowboy movie that I would watch, and then I would watch what's going on in the background. I would pay more attention to like that kind of stuff than the storyline and the plot and all that kind of stuff. I was just watching how they were functioning. How they were making their clothes, how they were hauling their water, how they were storing their water, how they were storing food, how they were traveling, the different things that you could use for traveling. All the stuff I was watching and taking notes on, and then I incorporated it into our life. These lamps, right? Oil lamps. A lot of people use kerosene. We actually do use kerosene, but it's not your regular kerosene. We spend a few extra dollars and get the kerosene that's called Clean Burn, and it's just not going to put the kind of toxins in the air that regular kerosene does. So we do little things like that. We spend a little few extra dollars for the health benefits, and but there, I don't think there's anything wrong with kerosene. I'm not an expert on it or anything, but I know a lot of people that use it. But we just prefer to use it. It's called Clean Burn. It's a higher grade kerosene. I just wanted to drop this video off and just remind you that if you're on the grid or you're already off the grid and you have access to these medias, watching these shows, to do it and then take notes, man. See what's going on behind the scenes. I'm always watching the buildings, how they were built and what kind of roofs that they use, and I mean everything that I watched so far I've been able to implement or think about while I'm off the grid, at our homestead here at Growing in the Faith Farm. So I just want to throw this video out there and just give that give that little teaser in your brain in case you never even thought about it, because a lot of you guys are watching these modern shows and you don't even think about it. But man, what a resource to watch these older cowboy flicks. A lot of them are black and white, and that's even better. Clint Eastwood was in Rawhide. That's like the show that got him where he is today. You know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of good stuff on that. Cooking over an open fire. Everything about it is just good stuff. And so I just wanted to drop this video off, put a little tingle in your ear about watching these old shows. And of course, I get 10 cents for every old show you watch, and as long as you say that Growing in Faith Farm asked you to watch the show. No, I'm just kidding. And then the other thing I want to talk about is a homestead dog, canine. We have Airedale Terrier and we have a White Lab. I'll never have another White Lab. Okay, they shed a lot. Our girl has a really high metabolism, but our Airedale Terrier, if you're thinking about a dog, Airedale Terrier is an awesome dog. They don't shed very, very little. Super great family dog, super protective of the family. We had one when we got up here. She was already older. Her name was Anush. My wife is Armenian, and her name is Anush, which means like little sweetie or little cutie. And we had her a long time, ever since she was a little pup. And we got up here. She was a little older, adjusting to country life, and I tell you, she fought a horse. The horse had her pinned up on the chicken house. You saw the chicken house in some of our other videos. And she bit that horse in the face and went toe-to-toe with that horse, wouldn't back down for nothing. And but she was a good girl, but she's gone now. And so we got this other dog. Right pretty much after I started building the cabin, we got this dog from way down by Arkansas border there, southern Missouri and the Arkansas border. My wife drove a long ways to get this dog. And she's just a real good dog too. It was a breeder. Our first dog. We've had these dogs for 15 years. My wife had them even before we got married, and the Anush came from a breeder who was really right down the street from where we are now, but they got old, and then they don't, they're gone. They don't do it no more, So anyway, she found this other breeder way down there. She drove like 4 hours to get this dog one way, and then brought her back home to me. And then she was up here with me when I was building the cabin, and she's been a great dog. They're just great dogs. Airedale Terrier, you can look into it. Big coal black nose. They have the lockjaw like the pit bulls. Just a great dog, great defensive dog, great family dog. They have a little short nubby tail. You don't clip them or anything. That's just the way they are. They're bred that way, and they would actually pull them by the tails. They're notorious for hunting rodents, groundhogs, moles, any kind of stuff like that. They're notorious for getting out of mice. Our dog hunts mice all the time, and that's what they would do. They would pin them in the holes, and then they would pull those tails out. Pull the dog out of that hole, and then they could kill the possum or raccoon or whatever it is they had in there. So that's it, man. Just a real quick video today. Nothing much going on. I'm going to go outside, split some wood, fill up our wood box. It's 40 degrees today, but they say we got snow coming tomorrow. So we like to keep our wood box filled up, and then, not have to fish around with that stuff and pull the tarps off the wood, and get it all wet and stuff. So, you want to be a little bit prepared. You're always kind of thinking about what's coming and trying to work accordingly. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful to you. Watch those old cowboy flicks. Watch what's going on behind the main characters. The backdrops. Great ideas about buildings, about everything. Firearms. I got a side-by-side shotgun just because I was watching the show. And what the heck was the name of that show I watched? Tombstone. Tons of ideas I got off of there. I like the side by side. I tried to. I had the assault rifles. I had all this, the pump shotguns and all this. And then I started thinking about simplicity. I started thinking about springs. I started thinking about cleaning and just So what? Basically, I got rid of all that stuff, and I've gotten my stuff back to a very much, a very simple operating system. Okay. I got a 30-30 lever action. I got a 22 lever action. I got a 22 that looks like the evil assault weapon, which really is just a 22. It just looks like the way guns look these days. I mean, it's just a natural progression of gun design. My hammer is an assault weapon, My screwdriver is an assault weapon. I can assault you with any of that stuff. I can assault you with my pliers laying on the table. So that's all just fear-mongering, I have this side-by-side shotgun now. 2 shots, called a scatter gun, whatever you want to call it. But I'm just here to tell you that, if I'm whipping that thing out, you're close enough, 2 shots is going to do the deal, And if I have multiple assailants coming at me, then I can fall back onto my handgun and try to get to a defensive position. So don't believe all the hype out there with all the guns and all this stuff. I mean, just try to keep it simple. I'm not trying to really go there about guns on this video, but I just threw that in there because that's how I am. I'm a rambling man. So hit the subscribe button, share our videos, tell a friend. We're picking up subscribers. We're getting some momentum going. And we always just try to bring it to you how it is, how we're feeling, how we're thinking, what's working for us, what's not working for us. Like I said, we got some neat things coming up for the springtime. We're going to see some projects getting done around here. And then I got the Gunner Man still supposedly coming out one day soon, and he's going to put some seamless gutters on. Maybe I'll videotape that. We're going to talk about that kind of a thing. And then that's about it. This is Doug, Growing in Faith Farm, signing out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.